Silk Route in Central Asia, very famous. Silk Route or Royal Route. So Silk Route was a route that starts from China and enters into Indian subcontinent like Tibet or Mongolia, Tibet, not or and. So Tibet and Mongolian region like Gansu region, these are Gobi Desert, Tibetan Plateau, and Taklamakan in the sense that Kashi area. I call it Indian subcontinent. Somehow they are part of China now. So it begins from China, enters into Indian subcontinent, and then it enters into Central Asia, all countries, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan. They are also called Russian subcontinent. They are separate country now, but they falls in Russian subcontinent. And then it enters Indian subcontinent again in Iran. So from Iran it goes till Tehran. From Tehran again it goes till Baghdad. From Baghdad then it diverts into two directions. One direction goes to Mediterranean Sea and one direction goes to Red Sea where Medina, Makkah, Jeddah. So those places are there. From there you can travel to Africa and then it takes around because the sea, then it takes around and through Muscat you can enter the Indian subcontinent. You can take full round of the Arabian Peninsula and then like first it will you will make a round of the Yemen and then Oman. I believe the capital of Oman is Muscat. And then you come like UAE, Abu Dhabi, and there from there you can enter into Indian subcontinent again. So this is the diagram of Silk Route. Pioneer, long-lived Silk Route. So Silk Route, it is actually Silk Route came much later. Earlier it was called Royal Route and it was established by a royal family in China called Han Dynasty. So Han Dynasty, they kind of established the kind of established this royal route so that the Chinese production, paper production, or gunpowder production, or silk production. Okay, there are many others like you have a kind of you have food grain transportation, or from this side, this is east to west. From west, glass that is manufactured used to be manufactured in Arab Peninsula, glass. So that or livestock, the cattle animal. So this kind of uh, transportation, the trade. So that used to happen through the royal route from China, from east to west, from China to Indian subcontinent to Central Asia, Russian subcontinent, and then back to Arabia, Iran, Arab, and then it used to go till Rome in Italy or this side, Africa, Egypt, and those kind of countries. So, like dates from this side, from Africa and Arabia Peninsula, used to go east, where from east, like silk, gunpowder, paper, leather, and then kind of other material. So, that used to transport from east to west. Silk Route, very powerful. So, it was established by Han Dynasty in second century before Christ, and then it was kind of came out of the effect in 15th century AD or CE. So around 1500 years that was lifeline in the trade from east to west. What was the mode of the transportation? Either it is through sea or otherwise it is through camel and horse. So there were hotel and resort and resting places at one day distance. So if you start your journey morning from one hotel, then in between you won't find much thing. Then in the evening where you can reach, there you will find hotel again. So this is how resting places were established in the Silk Route. So nice, right? Now, so trade used to happen lavish. It was a kind of something that was many countries that were dependent upon the Silk Route. In Silk Route also entered India from Hotan region that is in Kashi, and Lhasa that is in Tibet. From there it entered India also. So it came to Delhi, and from Delhi then Ahmedabad. From Ahmedabad it takes the sea route and it goes till Muscat, and then from Muscat it can enter the land area, or from Muscat it can go around and it can reach Makkah, Medina, and then it can go up to the Mediterranean Sea. So this path also. So Silk Route was very famous. Okay, the actual path that we will see, the actual path of the Silk Route is what? But who documented the Silk Route trade? So Marco Polo. So Marco Polo is an explorer from Italy. In 13th century, Marco Polo, along with his family, he with from the seaside, ocean side, he comes to Persia, and from Persia he travels on camel and horse, and he reaches Central Asia, Bukhara, and then slowly he reaches the China. In China, there is a rule of Kublai Khan. Kublai Khan is a king there in 13th century. So it took around 3 years for him to travel this way. So Kublai Khan, now next 24 years, he worked in the Kublai Khan's court, Marco Polo, as a tax collector. Okay, so Marco Polo worked under Kublai Khan. After 24 years, he returns to Italy and he writes a book, Travel to Silk Road, something like this. So Silk Road term that was first used by Marco Polo because he saw that silk is the main trade along this route. So silk from China, those were highly intricate and highly precious. Those were mainly those were transported to west. From east to west, the main trade was happening for the silk. Okay, now I will see now what is the actual the path that were taken as far as Silk Route is concerned. The actual path, okay, so the actual path that Silk Route was taken, that more or less it started from Beijing area, and Beijing it comes to Dunhuang. So Dunhuang is a famous place. Now it falls in a province called Gansu that I have documentary for it. I have placed Gansu. So Gansu, there is a Dunhuang oasis that falls in Gobi Desert. It falls in Mongolian kind of area, Gobi Desert. So Dunhuang, where there is a famous Shiva temple, Shiva cave. So there are many caves that are carved out, and Dunhuang is a very important place in Silk Route. So Dunhuang is, you can say, resting place. Hotels were there, and there are artificial caves in the mountains, where in one mountain you can see Shiva, Ganesh, and Kartikeyan paintings. So that is Dunhuang. Okay, and that cave has some name. So Dunhuang is the place where these caves are around 20 kilometers or something. These caves are ready, means they are there. It's ready in the sense they are there. Okay, so from Beijing to Dunhuang, from Dunhuang is a famous place because Silk Route takes two directions. Beijing to Dunhuang, Dunhuang Silk Route takes two directions. One comes to Hotan. So Hotan is just near to Jammu Kashmir. Hotan. So Hotan or Gostan, that is along the Karakush River that begins from the China occupied Kashmir, that is Aksai Chin. So Karakush River, there is a place called Hotan. So from Dunhuang, one road comes to Hotan and other road goes to Urumqi. So Urumqi is capital of Xinjiang region or Kashi province that is in China now. So Urumqi. So from Dunhuang, from Beijing to Dunhuang, from Dunhuang two paths. One path goes to Urumqi and one path goes to Hotan. From Hotan, then two paths comes. One path goes to Lhasa and other path comes to Delhi. So Delhi, India has connectivity with Indian subcontinent. So Hotan, one is Delhi and one is Lhasa. From Lhasa, one path also comes to Delhi. So from Lhasa to Hotan and Lhasa to Delhi. Delhi to Ahmedabad, from Ahmedabad sea route to Muscat. Now, from the Urumqi side, from Dunhuang, two paths comes. One goes to Urumqi and one comes to Hotan. From Hotan, then it goes to Kashgar. So you can say that two main paths that starts from Dunhuang, one goes to Urumqi and one comes to Kashgar. So from Urumqi, it goes to Samarkand, Bukhara, and there is a famous place called Marv that is falls in Turkmenistan near Ashgabat, Marv, very famous place in the Silk Route, Marv. So from the Dunhuang, one side goes to Urumqi, Samarkand, Bukhara, and comes to Marv. One side goes to Hotan and then Kashgar. From Kashgar, then it comes to Marv. From Kashgar, there is a road till Samarkand also. Now from Marv, it enters into Iran, around Mashhad area. So Mashhad is a city or town now. So around Mashhad area, there is a name something called Rampur or something like that. I don't remember. That is the name of famous village there. So that village, it enters from the Central Asia, Russian continent to Indian subcontinent and to the Iran. And there it goes till Tehran. Okay, so from Kashgar and from Urumqi, it meets at Merv, and from Merv, if you see the kind of social media, then Merv, still hills are there where you can see the posts that were through those high altitude posts, silk routes used to be monitored. So still, those are still there. Now that from kind of Tehran, it goes to Baghdad, and from Baghdad, it will take one route that is through Turkey. It will go to Mediterranean Sea, and one route will be along the Red Sea. Means it will come to Red Sea, and then it will come to Medina, Makkah, and then you can kind of through Medina, Makkah, and then you can take the Red Sea or land route, and through Red Sea you can come around through Yemen, Oman, and you can come to Muscat. From Muscat you can have sea route to Ahmedabad, or Muscat you can through the Dubai and those regions you can enter into Indian subcontinent again. Okay, so nice, so good, so nice that a person from Italy, he wrote the book The Travel of Marco Polo, and he went back to Italy around 1295. So he was so like Marco Polo, he liked so much the Silk Route that he stayed in China under Kublai Khan court and worked there for 24 years. Okay, now if you see the Silk Route and current, I mean Silk Route since it is in India also, current India also, and anyway it has a strong presence in Indian subcontinent as far as Mongolian region or Gobi Desert, Taklamakan Desert of Kashi or Tibetan Plateau is concerned, it has a strong presence there. Then again in Indian subcontinent like Tehran and those places. What is difference between that scenario and current scenario? Now, current scenario is governed by a party called Indian National Congress. That scenario, how open the trade is. Now, if you find the population of the current India, around 1200, 1300, 13th century, 14th century, 15th century, typically it was 5 to 6 crore only. At the time of independence, the population was 30 crore, where 1 crore is 10 million. But at the time of 13th century, 14th century, the population of India was only 5 to 6 crore only, that much. Okay, and it became so bulky in the 1947 itself, and post 1947, then we cannot talk about. Because if you place people in a boundary, the slight boundary Britishers also created. McMahon line and Durand line and this line, that line, because they faced defeat in the hand of powerful Tibetan and powerful Pashtun people. So they started dividing that this is Durand line, McMahon, as if they have created the earth. So this line or that line, earth is round and everyone has equal right to travel in 360 degree from wherever he is standing. No one can stop him that walking in any of the direction. This is how Silk Road gives the importance that person that is he living in China, he can do trade in Italy also. Through Silk Road, he can sell his item and that will be sold in Africa, Europe, Arab, then Iran, Central Asia, and then you have Himalayan region, and then anywhere in the China. So this was the powerful the trade was. If trade is powerful, then population growth will be very less because people they anyway they go and mix with so many people they don't try to grow the population because you grow the population when you are in a boundary. If you are in a boundary and you see very, so suppose that you are mixing with 100 people in a day and suddenly you are confined to 10 people, you will try to make it 100. So that's how population in every country in Indian subcontinent, they kind of exploded. Pakistan 7 times, Iran 10 times, Afghanistan also exploded. Everywhere population exploded when people, government, they placed boundary around them. Means who told them to place the boundary? Now see the Indian National Congress. The Northeast people, people who live in Meghalaya, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, and then Manipur and Mizoram and Tripura, just think about their country. They are completely paralyzed. They cannot go to Burma, where their father and forefather used to go. They cannot go to Tibet. They cannot come to Bangladesh region. They cannot go south because again Bangladesh connects to Burma. Okay, they are confined in small region, and then there is a called chicken neck. Means there is a small street that comes from through Assam. Through that they have to travel by train, and then they have to reach other part of India only. See the pain for them. Now Manipur crisis came. Now Indian National Congress is crying foul that no one is placing heed on the Manipur issue. But you are the root cause of all the problem. Who will put the heed? Means people should burn your party. What you have done? You have placed kind of boundary to the people. People cannot walk. If you see the Bangladesh and India, if you see the boundary, there is a boundary inside the home. If there is a angan, okay, that is the open land that you see typically in the Indian home, and there is a house here, and there is a big yard in between. They have placed boundary there. BSF, Border Security Force, they are flying, they are marching in their home. One side people cannot go to other side. This is the atrocity that Indian National Congress have done on the people. What people will do now? You tell me. See the Bangladesh population, how much it has gone. See the poverty in Bangladesh. Indian poverty is anyway not hidden to anyone. 111 by 125 in hunger index. How person will live like this? You tell me. Means everywhere, Jammu Kashmir, they are divided into so many parts and all along full boundary. Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu. Then Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, they cannot go to Tibet. That was their main place from the religious point of view. Then Bangladesh, somewhere it came and went inside. Now full area it paralyzed. Who allowed you to stop people go all around? You can stop people boarding on aeroplane. You can stop people boarding on train. Probably You have built aeroplane, probably you have built train, probably you have built buses. So you can stop people that you cannot climb, you cannot board on our buses, train or aeroplane because we have built it. Have you built earth? Who are you to stop people going around when he is standing somewhere? He can walk anywhere, right? This is his kind of God right that you also stop. So if person, if a boy, if he wants to earn some money and he lives in Nagaland and he goes to Burma, then he is a criminal. Means he is like a terrorist. Okay, he is now subject to be fired or he will go to jail that his father or forefather used to go. And a person is living in Arunachal Pradesh, he cannot go to Tibet. Person living in Bihar, he cannot go to Lhasa. Means this is something that no one had ever dreamed of. Means how trade will happen. If trade is not there, then where from job will come? If job is not there, then people will have job to grow in the population only. What else they can do? Okay, and then there is a hunger, too much population, no job, then certainly it will lead to hunger only. Now to every accounts per month they will give 8,000, that they have taken tons and tons of money from everyone in the past 70 years. Means put people in a confinement and start looting them. Okay, if you don't create boundary, if people they start doing trade going in here and they are happy, then how you can loot them? Not possible, right? If they mix with so many people will tell so many things. If you confine them in a boundary, then you can start looting them. That is the idea. So confine Indians in a artificial boundary and start looting them. This is what has had happened, has been happening. So this is the Indian National Congress. See the Silk Route. See the power of Silk Route. Then Marco Polo comes and lives here 24 years. Which Marco Polo is coming to Indian subcontinent from? Through camel and horse, then spending 3 days, 3 years, and then coming here. Who? How many Marco Polo are coming, and how many are writing books? Okay, so people were mixing at that time more, even though transportation system was camel and horse or through sea, through ship. Now you have aeroplane, you have train, you have buses, but people are finding themselves in a boundary. What is the meaning of invention and discovery? When your life is coming to a like a hell. Okay, so when you go to vote, okay, just think 50 times it that what condition you are making to people who are living in Northeast, Punjab, Jammu Kashmir, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Rajasthan. Just think about their condition, and then you go and vote. Now they talk about Manipur condition and this condition. The looters, the killers, they are talking about who killed you. Means it is amazing, right? Anyway, this is kind of something that is really highly painful. It's what we can do. Whatever is in our hand to vote, that the max we can do right now.